How to build a property empire. Hi, I am Jaco Grobbelaar, the founder and managing director of Prosperity Enterprises. Property is the best asset class that you can invest in. It's tangible, it's a great store of wealth, it appreciates in value, and it is a low-risk investment. The big thing about building a property empire is to think big, but start small. So many people want to take this big first step, but they never start because they don't know how to take that first little step to get them into the right direction. So, when you want to build a property empire, remember that it's going to be done step by step. So, you need to take that first small step. I always tell my clients that if you don't have any properties, your first goal is going to be to get that first property. Once you have one property, your goal will become, how do I get from one property to two properties? If you have two properties, you are going to ask yourself, how do I get from two properties to four properties? Don't think about 100 properties now. Just look at the next step that you need to take to grow your property portfolio. Have you thought about the possibility of doubling your property portfolio every 3 years? Think about it. You buy one property now and it takes you 3 years to buy your second property. Then it takes you another 3 years to get from 2 properties to 4 properties. And then another 3 years to get from 4 properties to 8 properties. Do you know that if you continue that for 10 cycles, you will have more than 1,000 properties? That is the power of compounding, and that is the power of consistency. So, with building a property empire, the number one thing that you should be after is consistency. You want to consistently build your property portfolio, step by step. So, how do you set the right goals when it comes to building a property portfolio? I remember when I was younger, I was obsessed with how much I can earn. My goals were always focused on how much money I can make in a year. Those goals over the years have entirely changed because a mentor taught me it is not how much money you make, but how many assets you are acquiring that matters. So instead of focusing on how much money I could make in a year, I started focusing on how many properties I can acquire in a year. You don't save yourself rich, you buy yourself rich. And how do you do that? You do it by buying assets that appreciate in value and buying assets that can generate positive cash flow for you. Therefore, the goals for myself is how many properties I can acquire in a year. Now, here are 5 action goals that you can set to help you build a property empire. Goal number 1, get an education in property. The first thing that you need to invest in is you need to invest in yourself. Before you make a single investment in a property, make sure that you invested in yourself first. Educate yourself as much as possible about property investment. Attend the Prosperity Enterprises property seminar. Read our book, Prosperity Through Property. Attend our webinars that we host on a monthly basis. But expose yourself to as many resources and as much knowledge as possible about property investment, because when you have put that knowledge into yourself, you are actually at a place where you can make good property investments. Goal number 2, view some more properties. Imagine you look at only 3 properties and you decide to buy one of them, versus you looked at 100 properties and decided to buy one of them. In which scenario would you make a better investment? Obviously in the scenario where you viewed 100 properties, because you've got more apples that you can compare with one another. So by viewing many properties, you get an idea for the market, you get an idea for what properties are selling for. You get an idea of the levies and the rates that are charged and the rent that you can earn. And by getting an idea of what all these things cost and what the prices of properties are, you can actually make a much more informed decision and buy a much better investment property. Goal number 3, submit those offers to purchase. When I see a property that I like, I submit an offer to purchase. I would always offer less than the asking price unless if the asking price is already far below market value. And then I will see, it's like catching fish. I put a line in the water and I see if there's a bite. So I submit the offer to purchase and I see if they accept. If they don't accept, I move on. Yes, I might come back to that seller in a month or 2 months' time and follow up again. But when an offer doesn't get accepted, I move on to the next one. And I am comfortable that 4 out of 5 or 9 out of 10 of the offers that I submit will be rejected. But it's that one that gets accepted that helps me to build my property empire in a strong way with properties that I'm acquiring below market value. Goal number 4, plan your defense. You don't just want to build an empire and then interest rates go up and you lose everything that you've built up because you can't afford the shortfall. So you want to make sure that your defense strategy is in place as well. And the way that you build your defense strategy is by having cash reserves. You want to make sure that you have ample of cash reserves in place in your property portfolio. So for every property that you own, you at least want to have 10% of the value of that property in cash. Now, you don't have to save up for that money. You can refinance the property to make those funds available. But having the access bonds, at least 10% of the value of the property is available so that those funds can subsidize shortfalls if your shortfalls should increase, or that those funds can help you should that property, for whichever reason, is not generating income for you. Goal number 5, take up space. Occupancy, that is. You want to make sure when you build a property portfolio that your properties are tenanted. Have a strong management team or managing agent in place that can manage your properties to ensure that vacancies are kept to a minimum. A property that is vacant is not generating cash flow for you and is not a good thing. Make sure that you have tenants in your properties. Let Prosperity Enterprises help you to build your property empire. Remember to book your one-on-one consultation with us. If you like this content and you would like to receive more of it, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.